Well, today I want to talk about resistance. That's right, what we resist in life. And my talk title is Your Resistance, It's Your Teacher. You see, the moment you resist life, you separate from it. The moment you allow life, you merge with it. You see, when you resist something, you're pushing it away. And when you're pushing it away, you're saying, I'm not a part of it. But the fact of the matter is, you are a part of life. What is happening, you're witnessing. You're a part of it. So you can't fight life, what's happening. You allow it to happen. You fully experience it. You allow it to move through you. And you're in harmony with life. You see, resistance is that tension. It's that pushback. It's that inner recoil that we feel when life doesn't go the way we want. When someone triggers us by not doing what we want. When a plan fails, it doesn't go the way we want. When the truth gets too close, that we're not the body and the mind and the ego and our feelings, but we're the observer. Our mind doesn't like that idea. Our mind doesn't like that idea one bit, that we're just the observer. It thinks we're the body. It thinks we're the sensations. It thinks we're the thoughts. And when things aren't going the way our mind wants them to go, we resist that. And we resist that, we stop the energy flowing through us. We stop life energy flowing through us. We get blockages. Those blockages then lead to physical discomfort, eventually disease, or emotional discomfort, emotional disease in the body. It's all because of resistance. Resistance is not your enemy. Frankly, it's very simple. It's your teacher. So let's explore this to discover what is real resistance. Resistance, it's an energetic contraction in the presence of what as life is. In other words, life, something happens in front of you. A car's going slow. You're resisting that the car is going slow, and therefore you get yourself all upset. You can't change that the car in front of you is going slow. It just is. Resistance is, oh my God, the light turned red. Oh, damn, the light turned red. Well, the fact of the matter is, the light turned red. To resist it is absolutely fruitless. The light turned red. You're married with 4 children. Guess what? You're married with 4 children. You can't change that. You are married with 4 children. You accept it as it is. You may say, I'm married, I can't have children. Well, if you resist that, you're going to have a lot of tension, a lot of stress. You have to accept what life is. Resistance is also a signal, a real clear signal that the ego feels threatened. You see, the ego has likes and dislikes. It wants what it wants. It wants its preferences, and it wants to avoid that which it dislikes. Well, guess what? It can't do that. Because you're just one individual on one planet with 8 billion plus people on it, with all the animals, all the circumstances going on, and there are 200 trillion galaxies out there. Your ego thinks that everything has to go the way it wants, and the moment that's right in front of you is a result of all the moments that have ever happened before. Think about that. And you're trying to control life? You see, the ego, it's not bad to have an ego, but you have to be the master of that ego. You have to be the one that empowers that ego and tells it what it can do or do, and you're the master. You see, resistance is the doorway to awareness. Yeah, it tells us where we're messing up. And when we understand where we're messing up, oh my God, now we can change our perspective, and when we change our perspective, we change everything. Resistance will show up as tension. It'll show up as avoidance, control, defensiveness. It's not about the outside world. It's the inner belief that something shouldn't be the way it is. And that belief is the root of all of our suffering. Think about this. What are you avoiding? Who are you avoiding? And why would you avoid anything? Because you're resisting it. Why is it people try to control everything? You know who you are out there. You know who you're married to or not married to. You're either very controlling, or you're being controlled, or you're trying to control someone else. And control says you're resisting what is. And I love the one about defensiveness. You should never have to defend yourself. Just be your authentic self. I know people don't like it when I say I never apologize. There's no need to apologize. Well, you hurt my feelings. Well, no, I didn't really hurt your feelings. You interpreted what I said in a way that hurt your feelings. I simply offered you my opinion. And that's all I have is an opinion. If you can't accept that, well, that means your ego's in control. And when your ego's in control, you're going to suffer. I know, because when my ego's in control, I suffer. So, resistance says, life should match my idea of how things should be. You know what I'm talking about. Think about your life. Think about all the things. My partner should be doing this. My children should be doing this. My community should be doing this. The government should be doing this. And my expectations is all that matters for everyone around me. Awareness says, life is what it is. Now what? I really think that if you could master this last statement, life is what it is. Now what? What are you doing there? You're accepting the way life is. And you can't do anything else. You can't change it. Because no one's ever changed what is. What is already happened. You can't change something that's already happened. The only thing you can do is you can fight it, which is stupid. Just stupid because you can't fight it because it's already happened. But you can't accept it. You can not resist it. You accept it happened, and then you ask the question. 2 words. Now what? I didn't say ask the question, why did it happen? That is a useless question. Absolutely useless question. The powerful question is, what? Now what? So here's some other questions that you can reflect on. What if everything that annoys and angers you is just a part of life trying to show you something? Trying to point out something different for your own growth, for your own expansion, for your own enjoyment? What if everything that angers and annoys you is trying to get you to see that? What if it's not the traffic, the X, the diagnosis, but it's your resistance to them that creates suffering? Those are great questions. What if your son, I use my sons, what is it that my son won't accept my opinion on something? And he doesn't accept my opinion. Both of them don't accept my opinion on a lot of things. You know what? That's going to create suffering if I look at it that way and I go, I've changed. One son's Stephen, one son's Matthew, one son's Robert. Guess what? Granddaughter Claire, wife Jean, they're just going to do whatever they do. They have that right to be different. You see, resistance is never neutral. It has weight. It drains your energy. But when we turn toward it with curiosity, we can transform it. So it doesn't suck us dry of all our energy. We become lighter. When we're in a state of acceptance and non-resistance, oh my goodness, we're free. Think about this from a standpoint of resistance. You're in a tug of war. You've got one end of a massive rope, and in the middle is this big, big mud pile. On the other side are about 8 people, and they're much stronger than you, and you're trying to resist, and you're going to go in the puddle. No! Don't resist them. Just let the rope go. Just let the rope go. You don't have to play the game. Do you see what I just said? You don't have to play the game. You have the freedom to choose to play or not play because you get to make it all up anyway. No one can compel you to play the game. Every game is a choice. I know I was just talking with my friend Charles, and I said, I've started to streamline my schedule so that I have Saturdays off. He says, what are you doing this Saturday? Well, I'm going to be doing practitioner panels all day. He says, well, I thought you streamlined your thing. I said, I did. But I was asked, and I said yes. I'm not resisting that I said yes. I said yes, I'm being of service. So I'm going to make the most of it. Would I rather be doing something else? Possibly. But I'm not going to because I made a commitment. I chose. And I honor what I choose. And by that, I have no regret about it. I have no angst about it. I'm just going to be there and be my best self I could be. You see, resistance is a locked door in our own house. You walk past it every day. You feel uncomfortable around it, but you forget. You forget the key to open that door has always been in your pocket. And the key is stop resisting. Accept what is. So how do we work with resistance? Well, first, we notice the tension. Where in the body and the mind does it live? Once we notice the tension, breathe into it. You see, our presence dissolves the illusion. Because the second you identify where there's tension, you're going to know what's causing that tension. What is the cause of that tension? It's thoughts. And then when you breathe into it, breathe deep and it just dissolves. You train yourself to do that. And once you've breathed into it, you ask yourself, what story am I believing right now? What story am I creating about what's in front of me am I believing right now? Then, well, maybe I could write a new story. Or just drop the story and stay with the feeling. See, you don't have to keep the story. Most people don't understand. The story is not who you are. The story is what the mind has made up. And finally, to work with this resistance, choose love over control. I define love as the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness, the awareness, acceptance, and wholeness of others, and the awareness and acceptance and wholeness of life. If I accept what is, I don't try to control anything. That doesn't mean I don't put new intentions out there. That doesn't mean I don't move toward things. But I accept everything on the journey as it is, and that takes all the resistance out, which takes out all the suffering, which makes the journey so much easier. You see, we don't force resistance away. We outgrow it with our awareness. So spiritual practice is the way I deal with everything. With this, spiritual practice is to say, thank you, teacher. Show me what I'm clinging to. Resistance comes up. Thank you, teacher. Show me what I'm clinging on to. Here's another great spiritual practice. Sit with it. Don't flinch. Don't run. Sit with it. Feel it. Understand it. Let it go. And then, in the discomfort, let your breath meet the discomfort. Breathe into it and let your soul expand through it. Let your awareness grow as you realize that you're not that. So I thought I'd put in some affirmations this week that you could use this week that'll help you reprogram your mind with respect to resistance. The first one is, I meet my resistance with compassion and courage. Really feel that. I meet my resistance. You're honoring that you have resistance, but how you're meeting it, you're accepting it, you're understanding it, and you're facing it even though it may feel bad. The second one is, I allow my life to be what it is, and I remain free. Because when you allow your life to be, you accept what is, you are free. Because you're not trying to fight against anything. I trust that every trigger is a path to truth. Anytime something's triggering you, it's telling you something you've not accepted. It's a preference that's still out there that you haven't neutralized. And finally, I am no longer a prisoner of preference. I think doing these affirmations, just like they're written, you'll find after a week if you do them, you'll have a different perspective. You'll start to change the mental makeup of how you think. You find that as we continue on our journey, we understand that the path to freedom, it's not outside of us. It lies exactly where we resist looking. That's why resistance is the perfect teacher. It has no agenda. It simply shows us where we're still asleep. And finally, what I've come to understand is that when resistance ends, peace begins. And I truly believe that peace is our inner state. Peace is the divinity expressing perfectly through us in perfect balance. So why not today? Why not today bring peace into your life by being a practicer of non-resistance? We're simply accepting what is and asking, now what?